not fruitfulness, and so that her husband's name would not die. They, I believe, had agreed to allow Peninnah to become the second wife. Verse 2 of the text says that Peninnah had children, and Hannah had no children. The sad fact is that there are some believers who have spiritual children. There are other believers who have no spiritual children. There are some believers who bring forth much fruit, but there are other believers who bring forth no fruit. There are some believers who are always productive, always busy, winning souls, bringing sinners to Christ, saving the lost from hell, while there are others who cannot even point to one soul that they've won for Jesus Christ. The lives of some are filled with good works, always lifting, always encouraging, always helping, always busy, here and there, always giving. But there are some who others who sit and do nothing. Can I get some prayer in this place tonight? Someone say, listen, I know I'm not doing all that much, but I'm not doing wrong. At least I'm living a clean life. Living a clean life does not mean that you're not barren. You're not barren because you don't kill children. You're barren because you don't produce children. Unprofitability is in the eyes of Jesus wickedness. Will you look toward your neighbor and say, unprofitability is in the eyes of Jesus wickedness. For you remember the master said of the servant who produced nothing, who did not invest what he had been given, he said, you're wicked and unprofitable servant. Peninnah had children. Hannah had no children. She was barren. I read over in Galatians chapter 5:22. Says that when you have the Holy Ghost, the fruit of the Spirit is love, it's joy, it's peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. Some have these things and some don't. If you ever want to get a spiritual head beating, if you ever want to run into trouble, go to church. Because sometimes you'll find in some churches at some times and dealing with some people that they'll be rougher on you than anybody you ever met on the outside of the church. Some have the fruits of the Spirit. Others don't have it. They're barren. There are many who have fruitful prayer lives and have many miraculous answers to prayer. But there are others who cannot point to even one prayer, one miracle that the Lord has performed in their lives. Seems that their prayers can't get through the roof, let alone get to heaven. Pray, but you don't feel anything. Pray, but you never get a touch. Pray, but your spiritual life is not fruitful, not dynamic. You feel empty. Your soul feels barren. Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. There may be somebody in the house tonight who does not know Jesus, and you realize you're living a barren existence. You've got stuff and you've got things, but your heart is empty. You're not happy in your soul or in your spirit, and all the things you do leave you empty and fulfilled. The things you thought would make you happy leave you sad instead. But I pray tonight, God by his power will work the miracle of creative power in you, and you'll never be the same again.